based on an internal welfare check report from the Portland Police Bureau. The call came from neighbors. They reported a strong odor coming from the house and said the Morrison family hadn't been seen in almost a week. Mail was piling up. The porch light was still coming on every night. 2 officers were dispatched for a welfare check on the evening of October 14, 2020. According to the report, the front and back doors were locked from the inside. No broken windows, no signs of forced entry. Officers eventually entered through a side window after receiving clearance. The Morrison family was found seated at their dining table. All 4 of them, parents and 2 children. They were positioned upright in their chairs, facing inward, like they were in the middle of dinner. Plates were set. Glasses were filled with water. Food was on the table, cold and untouched. The report states the bodies had been deceased for approximately 6 days. Cause of death for all 4. Carbon monoxide poisoning, later traced to a deliberately altered furnace exhaust. What disturbed officers wasn't the cause of death, it was their faces. Every family member was smiling, not a natural expression. The medical examiner specifically noted that the facial muscles had been manually manipulated post-mortem. The corners of the mouths were stretched and held in position using fine suturing behind the jawline and ears. Whoever did it knew anatomy well enough to hide the work. There were no defensive wounds, no signs of restraint, no evidence of a struggle. Toxicology showed the family likely lost consciousness while seated and never woke up. Here's where the case gets stranger. There was no evidence anyone entered or exited the home after their deaths. Door locks were intact. Windows were sealed. No footprints, no fibers, no unidentified fingerprints. Security camera footage from a neighbor's house showed nothing unusual. No visitors. No late-night movement, except for one detail added in a supplemental report. On the 3rd night after the estimated time of death, at 3:17 a.m., the dining room light inside the Morrison house turned on. No one entered. No motion was detected. The light turned off again, roughly 12 minutes later. Investigators never determined how or why the facial positioning occurred. No suspect was identified. No arrests were made. The house was eventually condemned and sold at auction. The case is officially listed as closed due to lack of evidence.